Yes, Rahul, describe your personality and why you are interested to join CAPF as Assistant Commandant.
So, sir, my name is Rahul Kasana and I belong to Sirmaur district of Himachal Pradesh. I did my graduation from IIT Kharagpur as electrical engineer. Then I worked as a software engineer for 1.5 years. Thereafter, I started preparing for civil services. But after a few setbacks, like I started to explore other options also. And I found like joining Central Armed Police Forces also provides us a good opportunity to serve the country and contribute to the internal security. And since my father has also served in the ITBP, so I had familiarity with the forces earlier also.
Okay.
Yes.
Is your father still serving in ITBP or has he retired?
So, no, sir, my father has retired in 2020 actually.
So, at which rank he has retired?
He was constable, sir.
Okay, fine. So, your first preference is not ITBP. Even your father has retired from ITBP. What is the reason?
So, sir, I evaluated all the forces based on my own personality and my own caliber. So, I found that although all the forces are provide equal opportunities, but I found CISF as it has more public interface, and I was preparing for civil services earlier.
Okay.
It is also tech oriented, so I will get opportunity to learn various technologies in that course also.
Okay, good. So, having done your IIT from Kharagpur and you were earlier engineer also with one of the private firm, still you want to be an officer with the CAPF. Why?
So after working as a software engineer, so sir, I found like working in the field will give me more job satisfaction, and instead of working in front of laptop all day. And my I joined software engineer just due to financial constraint only actually. Because after passing out as electrical engineer, nowadays in the market there is only job opportunities are limited to software field only. So that was the primary motive for me joining as a software engineer.
How your degree will be useful in the forces you are applying for?
So, sir, since in college we were taught as electrical engineer, but while working in the private sector also we have to learn lot of different skills and things actually. So, in college degree helps us in building the scientific caliber and problem solving approach. So, I think that will be helpful in every field wherever we work, whether in private sector or government sector. Apart from that, when we study in college and do some projects, so we also get to learn about teamwork and how to solve a problem. So that will be useful in the forces also.
Okay. So you belong to Nahan district. Describe about your district.
So Nahan is a small town in the Shivalik Hills actually, and it was founded by the Karam Prakash in the 1600s century. And Nahan got its name from the Nahar actually, and there is one saint which prevented one of the king to kill the lion actually. So Nahar means lion. So from there it got the name of Nahan. And earlier Sirmaur was the capital of Sirmaur district, but later on it was shifted to Nahan. And in Nahan there is a special forces training school is also there, which provide training to SF para commandos.
Okay, good. Recently, Himachal Pradesh experienced lot of floods. So basically, in order to develop the ecologism, we have to cut the mountains and build the roads, highways. So we, in fact, deal with the ecology and we spoil the ecology of the area. So how these floods are related with the climate change and ecological changes, which are man-made subjects?
So, sir, nowadays climate change is a reality, and I think we all have to accept that and plan accordingly. So nowadays, like climatic pattern is limited to few days. So a lot of rain is raining heavily within a week or within a day actually. due to that, we have to change our planning pattern. So there are a lot of places where illegal mining is happening. While constructing the road, we have to take into account the ecology, because when we constructed a road, there is a lot of deforestation, and this kind of thing we need to take into account while planning. And also the flood, like there is a issue of like encroachment and planning on the river banks actually. So when river overflows, so those areas get flooded. So I think we have to consider these parameters while planning actually, and it is the reality. I think we can't stop that.
Okay. One of the rescue operation which was conducted by your CM of Himachal Pradesh was in the Chandratal lake area, which lasted for 60 hours. So can you tell me something about that operation?
Sorry, sir, I have to read more about it actually.
Okay,
That
okay.
operation.
I think more than 600 people were trapped there in the
Okay.
Chandratal lake area. Where is the Chandratal lake?
Chandratal, sir, I'm not sure, but it is in the maybe in Lahore and Spiti Valley. I think.
Yeah, Lahul Spiti Valley. It is
Yes,
across your Atal Bihari Vajpayee tunnel.
yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Beas is the main river which brought lot of water. What are the tributaries of Beas?
So, sorry, sir, I'm not able to recall at
Okay,
the
okay.
moment.
Okay.
There is one tributary named Ul, I think.
Okay, okay. In which districts of Himachal Pradesh ITBP is deployed?
So ITBP is deployed in the district which are bordering the Tibet, and it's the Kinnaur district and the whole Spiti district.
I think there are 4 districts.
Okay, so
Have a
yeah,
look
so
at the
sir,
map and find out how many
okay, sir,
districts of Himachal are adjoining with the China border.
okay, sir. I will
What
find
is
out.
our dispute with the China border?
So India shares 3,400 kilometers of border with China, and it is divided into 3 sectors: eastern, middle sector, and the western sector. So most of the dispute is related to middle sector. We have exchanged our maps, and there is some sort of agreement, and it is there is not much dispute there. But recently, there is a lot of dispute in the Ladakh sector, which lies in the western sector, and dispute is related to confusion regarding the line of actual control, which has not been demarcated, and there are a lot of efforts from Indian side to resolve those confusion. But China keep on insist. China doesn't want to resolve those, so it can act as a pressure point for India to have a bargaining power. So nowadays, China is also trying to aggression in the eastern sector, also in Arunachal Pradesh, especially in the Wang area. So both these eastern and western sector of LAC are disputed nowadays.
Okay. So there were 7 friction points, out of which 5 have been resolved and 2 points not resolved, even after 17 conference of corps commanders of both the armies. What are those 2 points which have not been resolved?
So, sir, earlier there was in the Depsang Plains issue has been there since 2013, and due to its strategic location, China also doesn't want to have a talk or pilot negotiate because of its closeness to Daulat Beg airstrip, and in future, if a full war confrontation happens with China, so China wants to take control of that Depsang plain. So apart from that, there are disputes at the Galwan Valley and Hot Spring, and the Pangong Tso Lake has been resolved through bilateral negotiations. And at the Pangong Tso Lake also, India has some due to some recent action in 2020. The special frontier force have occupied some mountain peaks there. So due to that, China have come to the negotiating table, and it tried to resolve it through negotiation. Apart from Depsang Plain, sir, currently the Tawang area also, China is trying to infiltrate there also.
So these are basically Deepsang Plains and Damchok. These are the two areas which have
Okay.
not been resolved. So.
Okay.
Okay. Recently, we had to conduct the SCO meeting, Shanghai
Yes,
Cooperation Organization meeting, but we conducted it virtually. Do you know something about it?
yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Explain.
So India, so there were two main motives. So one was like India doesn't want to invite Pakistan into India because they have earlier also issued various controversial statements. So India doesn't want that Pakistan utilize that platform to issue some controversial statements. Another was that China factor. So this time China wants to further its beer belt and road initiative through using this SCO summit. And China has also proposed the SCO economic cooperation strategy, which India rejected because China BRI projects doesn't respect the territorial integrity and sovereignty of the nation as it passes through the Exai-Chin area, which is claimed by India, and India and Pakistan are continuing with China-Pakistan economic corridor. So due to these reasons, India doesn't want to hold that SCO meeting in India actually.
Okay. Where the Dalai Lama lives and why he lives there?
Currently, the Dalai Lama has established a Tibetan exile government in Dharamshala, and he escaped after the communist government of China did a breakdown on the Tibetan government. So they they got shelter in the Dharamshala,
Okay.
and they are running their government from there.
What do you understand by Vibrant Village Program?
Yes, so Vibrant Village program is the initiative by Indian Army to develop the border areas and border villages, which
It
will
is by
help
Indian
in
Army or Indian government?
Indian government. Sorry, sir. It
Okay.
is initiative by the Indian government to develop the bordering village areas which have been neglected earlier, which will help us serve the dual purpose. So
Which areas? Which areas? You are talking about
will
the
help it.
areas. Which areas?
So basic in the currently it is in the first phase of the program. It is focused on the Arunachal Pradesh border, basically Tawang area, and further it will extend into other border areas also. So it will
It is
help in the
simply in
development of
relation
the
to
border.
China border. It is in relation to China.
Yes, sir, Indo-China border.
Ministry of Home Affairs has come out with this project that all the 4 states which are having border with the China, that is number 1 Himachal, number 2 Jammu Kashmir, that is Ladakh, number 3 Sikkim, number 4 Arunachal Pradesh, and number 5 Uttarakhand. Their villages which are falling near the border,
Yes,
they
sir.
will be developed. And Prime Minister has linked this program
Yes,
to Gati Shakti program. What is Gati Shakti program?
Yes. So Gati Shakti program is a infrastructure development program which helps in convergence of various ministries and private sector to resolve the duplication of efforts and ensure better coordination while executing the infrastructure projects. Because earlier, what used to happen, like when let's say roadways department is constructing some road, and if telecommunication department want to lay some cables, so they have to dig it again. Now, if proper coordination will be established through Gati Shakti program, so it will help in executing the this infrastructure program with lesser money, and it will enhance the effectiveness of the government also.
Okay. You have received Prime Minister scholarship. For what did you receive this scholarship?
So this scholarship is awarded to ex-servicemen or the wards of the serving personnel of the armed and paramilitary forces to promote the technical education among the wards.
Okay.
And it is funded out of the National Defense Fund.
Okay. Good. You have participated in 1500-meter race and 5000-meter race. So what were the timings?
So my 1500-meter timing was 5 minutes 30 seconds, and for 500-meter on the track it was 22 minutes, and on the road it was 19 minutes.
Okay, good. One of your interests beside running is meditation. So how do you meditate?
Yes, sir. So for meditation, I started while preparing for the civil services, because there were a lot of times when we have to face the stress, anxiety. So basically, I meditate. There is a one Zen technique in which we just it is also called mindfulness meditation, in which we just sit idle and we observe our thoughts, whatever comes, without any judgment or evaluation. And over the period of time, these thoughts or negative emotions start to don't come, and emotionally calm and stable mind will be reached.
Okay, my question is, how will you compare running and meditation? I think that both have got the same kind of target. How will you compare?
So sir, while running, especially in the long run, this it is a half is physical, half is mental game. So how much emotionally stable we are, and how much mental strength we have. So that meditation helps us in strengthening our emotional willpower and emotional stability, so that never give up attitude will come.
Okay, okay. What about the focus part? In meditation, we are also focusing. In running, also we are focusing. I think both are
Yes,
same.
sir. So in meditation, we there are various ways. Actually we can focus on some mantras is also given. Some we can focus on the breath also, and while running also we have to follow some systematic breathing pattern. So some follow like one time in and two time breathe out. So similarly, we can focus on the while running. We can also focus on the breathing, which will be similar to meditation actually.
Okay, good. Recently, IIT Kharagpur has claimed that they are building a such kind of signals for the railways that there will be no future accident. Recently, one of the major accident happened in Odisha, in Balasore, where the trains collided and we lost large number of human beings. So IIT Kharagpur has come out with a project. Can you tell me something about that project?
So, sorry, sir, I'm not aware about the exact project about IIT Kharagpur have initiated, but I am aware about the Kavach system, which was
Anti train collision system or Kavach, in other words, in simple word, is the different. But now they have said that we will build signal trafficking system by using blockchain technology and by secure means of communication as we use in bank transaction and cryptocurrency. They have come out with some kind of method.
So, sir, while I was in college, there were few of my friends which were also working on some railway technology related projects. So they were using the AI technology, in which they were using various object detection and algorithms. So in that there was a camera installed in front of the railway, and the videography all was processed through the AI algorithm, which was identifying all the objects in the track and track also, and through that it was uh, giving some early warning information to the command and control center. So that can help as an alternative to the existing system which we have actually. So using the AI and blockchain.
Okay. So this monsoon has caused loss of human being and property in Himachal Pradesh. CM has demanded that it is a loss of almost 8,000 crores. So they are demanding funds from the center. So what are the other challenges besides the flood which has caused challenges to Himachal? What are the other challenges before the government of Himachal Pradesh?
So, sir, every time connectivity was always a major issue for Himachal Pradesh. But since a lot of after a lot of initiative and government schemes, now connectivity is better than the earlier time. The Vande Bharat Express train has connected Delhi to the Una, but every time these floods takes a heavy toll on the state finances in the rebuilding and reconstruction. Apart from that, a lot of state revenue goes into the salaries and pensions actually. Compared to other states, it's more than 50%, I think. So that is the other issue, and state has recently reverted back to the old pension scheme, so which will further aggravate the problem, I think. Apart from that, being a hilly state actually, so there is always a challenge of industrial development while balancing the industrial growth and the environment. So that is also a major issue. And there is a new issue emerging in the state in the form of drug menace due to the border state with the Punjab and other regions. So districts like Una and Bilaspur are facing the problem of this drug menace actually.
So how can we control the drug menace in Himachal?
So to control the drug menace, we have to work on the both supply side and the demand side factor. So for supply side, most of the drugs, because India lies in the middle of the golden crescent and the golden triangle. So there is a lot. So for that, we have to ensure the proper fencing at the border, and the border, basically border management role becomes important, so that the all the efforts by the Pakistan through use of drones and all should be countered. And apart from that, state police role also becomes important in the enforcement and law and order management. And in the demand side, actually, there are youngsters also which are falling into this trap because of the social media and stress, anxiety, and there's also due to the over-the-counter availability of various drugs. So there is a easy abuse of easy drug abuse. So I think we have to work on both supply side and demand side.
You are appointed as assistant commandant in Punjab in one of the districts along the Pakistan border, and now you have to control this drug menace. And major smuggling is by drones. Not only drugs are coming.
Sir, your voice is breaking actually.
You are appointed as assistant commandant in border area of Punjab. Are you getting me?
Yes, sir. Now it's clear.
So there is a problem of drug smuggling by drones. Besides drug, we are getting arms and ammunition also. So as an officer, how will you brief your Jawans and how will you control the smuggling?
So I will establish a command and control center, and I will use the latest technology like artificial intelligence based drones to monitor. We can use various sensor, night vision cameras, thermal sensor, handheld thermal sensor, all these. And basically in command and control, this technology and the manpower which we have, we will integrate both. And to counter the issue of drones, we can use the radar jammers also to disable their functioning. So through the use of technology, there is some sensor or some intelligence gathering equipments are there or not. If it is just for the purpose of dropping the drugs and arms, then we will give the drone to the expert or technical team to further evaluate it, and through that we can frame our future counter drone strategy, how we can deal with that problem in future.
Okay. As an officer, whenever you get the opportunity, the first job is to run away, to leave your office or to leave your place of rest and reach there at the spot.
Yeah, sure. That I will
along
do,
with
sir.
your troops. Then carry out coordinate search operation in that area. What you have to do? You have to carry out coordinate search operation. There may be drone, but the main thing, drugs are missing, or weapons are missing, or ammunition is missing. It should be suspicion. So you have to launch coordinate search operation. Now, in order to launch coordinate search operation, how many agencies should be called for? You should take the help of other agencies. Can you name them at border? Whom all will you call?
So at the border, I will call the local SP to
Local police.
request the
Local
yes sir,
police.
local police will be requested to conduct to help in the search and operation.
Okay, what else? You can
Apart
call
from
the,
that,
you can talk to IB officer, RAW officer. You can
yes
talk
sir,
to
sure.
military intelligence officer also.
Yes sir, there is a National Technical Research Organization also,
Okay.
which take
Then
care
you
of
must talk
technology.
to the sarpanch and panches of that village where that drone has fallen,
Yes sir, that will also be available.
and ask from them that where is the main thing? Drone is here, but where are drugs? Then
Yes
you
sir.
have to trace out the record of that village. Who are the history sheeter in that village? Who are the men who are involved in the smuggling in the past 10, 20 years? You have got record in your border outpost, and you go through that record and find out where those men are living now. Is any one of them involved or not? So
Yes
all
sir.
these things you have to do in order to trace the drugs and
Drugs
ammunition,
and arms.
arms and ammunition. Okay. What kind of situation Pakistan is passing through these days?
So, sir, Pakistan is facing a political crisis as well as economic crisis these days, because and both the issues are linked actually. Because Pakistan has a history of political instability. Due to that, there was never a focus on the industrial development and economic development, and it was also a training ground for the various terrorist groups, Jaish-e-Mohammed, Lashkar-e-Taiba, and various other. And the Taliban troopers also were trained there, and these days they were indulging in various attacks on the Pakistan. So due to that, and Pakistan has always relied on the foreign funding, be it from the US and the IMF. So, but now due to the withdrawal of the US from the Afghanistan, that funding is also Pakistan. That funding is also not getting. So due to that, they have facing an economic crisis actually.
Okay. Recently, there was one attack in Waziristan, which is a part of Balochistan, on the army camp. Can you describe what kind of attack it was?
So, sir, I am not aware about the attack actually.
Okay. Taliban's come from Afghanistan, and they have attacked number of police posts and army camps in Balochistan of Pakistan area. Why it is so?
So there is a colonial time, just like India and China have a McMahon and Johnson line issues. So similarly, Pakistan and Afghanistan have a issue over the Durand line, which was framed during the colonial era. So due to that, Pakistan claims some territory of the Balochistan area. So due to that, they always tries to infiltrate into the Pakistan, similar to J&K issue for India actually.
Okay. In fact, what is happening that there are links between the Taliban's and the terrorist organization Tehreek-e-Pakistan.
Taliban.
TTP, Tehreek-e-Pakistan. They have got the links, so they organize the operation against the government in power. If you are organizing operation against the CAPF or against the army, air force or navy, it means you are organizing operation against the government in power.
Yes.
So this is happening in Pakistan for last 2 years when the Taliban took over the Afghanistan.
Okay.
When Taliban took over the Afghanistan, तालिबान ने अफगानिस्तान को कब अपने कब्जे में लिया?
So earlier also in 1996 also Pakistan, Taliban has taken it in the control.
This is recently in last 2 years.
Yes, sir. In recently in I'm not 2019 or
American forces went out.
Yes, sir. 2019 or 2020.
2019, 2020. It was 2020.
2020.
American forces went out because it was
Yes,
the election manifesto of the Trump government, and they pulled
Yes.
out all their forces, and Taliban has taken over the Afghanistan.
Afghanistan.
Since then, there have been lot of pressure on the army troops in the Balochistan area of Pakistan,
Yes.
as well as police. What is the outlook of Taliban as far as the women of Afghanistan are concerned?
So, sir, Taliban follows very orthodox form of Islam actually, which is based on the strict interpretation of Shariat law, in which women are not allowed in the public places, and they also don't allow women education, and it is very oppressive for the women actually in Taliban.
So let us stop the interview and talk. Good.